Hey, I wanted to talk about Flexi leads and recall, okay? How Flexi leads can be really useful in terms of teaching a recall. Often in my line of work, I'm having to teach recall really quickly, okay? And often I'm working with dogs that have consistently ignored a recall command. It doesn't mean a lot to them. The environment is far more tangible a reward for them. It's far more reinforcing than being near their owner. Ultimately, of course, we'd always want to be starting off really early with recall with our puppies, making sure that they know how to engage with us, that they want to please us, that they want to come back to us. And of course, we've done videos on all of that, so we're not going to touch on that now. There's loads of really great ways that you can teach a recall and crack on with that, and that's what I do 90% of the time. Okay, for the other 10%, sometimes I have dogs that are harder. Dogs that are older, dogs that have practiced the behaviour of not coming for a long time, dogs that are massively invested in the environment over their owners. Often that can be the hound type breeds. And in those instances, I just crack on with the Flexi. Okay, so sequence would be, Flexi would be on the dog's harness, not on the dog's neck, because we can stop the dog so quickly. On a Flexi, we wouldn't want that to be on the neck because we could potentially cause a whiplash situation. Yeah, it's instant. Okay, but that is exactly why it is so useful in terms of recall for dogs that are really used to ignoring Fido Cam. Okay, because it is instant. That's wrong. Yeah, if we pair it with our negative marker also of no, then that is helpful for us also to be able to really clearly communicate with the dog. That's wrong, try something else, okay? I don't get hung up about using negative markers. A lot of trainers do. I don't think it's a bad thing to tell a dog no. I don't think it's a bad thing to tell my kids no. I think it's really important that they know when they're right, when they're wrong, when we're happy, when we're sad, what we like, what we don't like, okay? So sequence would be, this would be attached to the harness so that the impact of being stopped is evenly distributed over the body rather than instant jolt to the neck. Okay. Dog's running out, Fido Cam. Dog fails to comply, no. Instantly puts the stopper on. Chances are then the dog's going to turn around and look, oh, what was that? And at which point then we can start encouraging them in. Yeah, that's it. Good boy. Reel them in. Good boy. Good boy. That's it. Yeah. Yes. Okay, go play, and the dog can go back out again. The reward is the release back into the environment, okay? We can use food, and I often say that in my other videos, always doubly reinforce the recall with food and the release. Sometimes you'll find that some dogs aren't motivated to take the food because the environment is too high. A competing motivator is what we call that, yeah? What I would say is continue to still give the food because we can ramp up the value of the food reinforcer by making it a predictor to the reinforcer that they actually want, which is the release. So if you want to ramp up the value of your food reinforcer, then I would suggest that you still do that. Every time the dog comes, still give it the food, regardless of whether it takes it with enthusiasm or not, and then release it straight into the environment. Okay, go play. And then it will gradually start to, in the dog's mind, it will be a more valuable reward purely because it's a predictor to what they actually want, but that's okay. So yeah, make sure that you're saying no before you stop the dog out on the long line. Only call them once. Fido Cam, dog fails to comply, no. Instant stopper. The dog turns around to look at you, and then you can spring into action. You can use movement to draw back. Dogs are drawn to movement, so the chances are then they're going to want to follow you anyway. That's it, good boy, yeah. Yes, okay, go play. And then the dog's allowed to run out again, okay? So I find the Flexi lead super useful in those instances. Yes, the dog is essential. It allows us to be far quicker than we can be with just a regular long line because then we don't have to stand on the long line. It runs out from under our foot depending on the surface that we're on. Or, you know, we can't be quick enough in reeling the dog back in. Allows us to be really super quick with those tricky dogs. So give it a whirl. Don't knock it till you've tried it. Be sensible with your equipment. Don't ever try and hold on to this bit. Stupid thing to do. and be aware of people around you, and then the Flexi just isn't a problem. Super useful tool. Give it a whirl.